Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about a woman who chooses solitude not as a retreat from the world, but as a deliberate act of power. She is someone who learns to sit with her thoughts, face her fears, and harness her strength when no one else is watching. She is dangerous, not in the way the world often fears, but in the way that inspires awe. Solitude is not loneliness. It is not an empty void or a punishment. Instead, it is a sacred space where transformation begins. When a woman spends time alone, she has the opportunity to strip away the expectations, distractions, and noise of the world. In that quiet, she can finally hear the voice that matters most, her own. This is where true power lies. Think about it. The world is constantly telling women who they should be, what they should do, and how they should look. It's a never-ending stream of opinions, judgments, and comparisons. But when a woman chooses to spend time alone, she steps away from all of that. She creates a boundary between herself and the outside world, giving herself the freedom to breathe, reflect, and reconnect with her inner self. In solitude, she learns who she truly is, not who society tells her to be. She uncovers her passions, her desires, and her purpose. She begins to ask the important questions. What do I want? What kind of life do I want to build? What impact do I want to make? These are the kinds of questions that require quiet and stillness to answer. And when she takes the time to do this, she gains clarity, a vision of her life that is uniquely hers. But solitude does more than provide clarity. It builds strength. When a woman spends time alone, she learns to rely on herself. She doesn't need constant validation or approval from others to feel whole. She becomes her own biggest cheerleader, her own motivator, her own best friend. And that, my friends, is what makes her dangerous. She is no longer swayed by the opinions of others. She doesn't crumble under criticism or rejection. She knows her worth, and she stands firm in it. Solitude also brings resilience. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes those challenges can feel overwhelming. But when a woman learns to be alone, she also learns to face those challenges head on. She doesn't run away from her fears or her pain. Instead, she sits with them, acknowledges them, and works through them. She learns that pain is temporary, that fear is just a feeling, and that she is capable of overcoming anything that comes her way. And let's not forget creativity. Some of the greatest ideas, inventions, and breakthroughs in history came from moments of solitude. When a woman spends time alone, her mind has the freedom to wander, to dream, to create. She taps into a wellspring of ideas that might have been buried under the busyness of life. Whether it's starting a new business, writing a book, or simply finding a new way to solve a problem, solitude gives her the space to innovate and imagine what's possible. But perhaps the most profound power of solitude is self-love. In a world that constantly tells women they're not enough, not smart enough, not beautiful enough, not successful enough, solitude is a radical act of self-care. It's a way of saying, I am enough, just as I am. When a woman spends time alone, she learns to appreciate herself, not for what she does or what she has, but for who she is. She sees her own beauty, strength, and worth. And when she loves herself deeply, she becomes unstoppable. Now, this doesn't mean solitude is always easy. It's not. In those quiet moments, she may have to confront her fears, her doubts, and her insecurities. But that's where the growth happens. That's where she learns to face her shadows and transform them into light. She discovers that her greatest battles are not with the world, but within herself. And that she has the power to win every single one of them. So yes, a woman who spends time alone is dangerous, not because she's isolated, but because she's empowered. She knows who she is. She knows what she wants. And she knows that she doesn't need anyone's permission to go after it. That kind of strength is rare. That kind of clarity is powerful. And that kind of woman, she's a force to be reckoned with. When we say a woman is dangerous, we often think of it as a threat or something to fear. But what if we flip that perspective? What if being dangerous meant being someone who is so confident, so self-aware, and so in tune with her potential that she cannot be ignored? A woman who has spent time alone has developed a strength that radiates from within, a quiet yet unshakable power. She becomes dangerous in the best possible way, not because she's a threat to others, but because she's unstoppable in her own pursuit of a meaningful life. A woman like this doesn't conform to societal expectations. She is not bound by the limits others try to place on her. She has spent enough time in solitude to understand her worth, and that understanding makes her unshakable. She doesn't need external validation because she has already validated herself. She knows her strengths, and she's unapologetic about using them. She understands her weaknesses, and instead of being ashamed of them, she works on them. Her self-awareness is her armor, and her belief in herself is her weapon. This kind of woman is dangerous because she's resilient. Life throws challenges at her, as it does to everyone, but she doesn't crumble under the weight. She's learned through her time alone that challenges are not roadblocks. They're stepping stones. Each failure, each setback, each disappointment becomes fuel for her growth. She doesn't fear adversity. She welcomes it because she knows it's an opportunity to become stronger. And when you can't be broken by what life throws at you, people take notice. She is dangerous because she's not afraid of being misunderstood. Too often, people compromise who they are to fit into molds or to make others comfortable. But this woman, she's already comfortable with herself. She's not trying to fit in because she knows she was born to stand out. Her authenticity might intimidate some, but it inspires others. She walks into a room with a presence that says, "I know who I am, and I'm not afraid to show it." That kind of energy can't be ignored, and it draws people in. This woman is also dangerous because she's emotionally intelligent. She's spent enough time alone to understand her emotions, the good, the bad, and the overwhelming. She doesn't run from her feelings. She faces them head on. She knows how to process pain, navigate fear, and channel anger into something productive. This emotional mastery allows her to handle conflict with grace, to lead with empathy, and to build meaningful relationships. She's not reactive, she's intentional. And that level of control over her emotions makes her a powerful force in any situation. Perhaps what makes her most dangerous is her vision. She has taken the time to dream, to plan, and to envision the life she wants to create. She's not drifting through life aimlessly, she's moving with purpose. Her goals are clear, and her determination is unwavering. She's not afraid to take risks or make bold moves because she knows that playing small won't get her where she wants to go. When you meet someone with a clear vision and the determination to make it happen, you can't help but be inspired, or even a little intimidated. But here's the thing, her danger isn't about tearing others down. It's about lifting herself up and inspiring others to do the same. She doesn't compete with others because she's too focused on her own growth. She's not looking to prove anyone wrong. She's looking to prove herself right. And in doing so, she becomes a beacon of possibility for everyone around her. This kind of woman is dangerous in the best way because she doesn't just survive, she thrives. She doesn't settle for what's comfortable or easy. She challenges herself, pushes her limits, and strives for greatness. And when others see her courage, her confidence, and her unrelenting drive, they can't help but be moved to examine their own lives. She becomes a catalyst for change, not because she tells people what to do, but because she shows them what's possible. So yes, a woman who has spent time alone is dangerous, not because she's isolated, but because she's empowered. She's dangerous to the status quo, to mediocrity, and to the limitations that society tries to place on her. She's a disruptor of complacency, a challenger of norms, and an embodiment of what it means to live authentically. And that kind of danger is exactly what the world needs more of. Negative feelings are a part of being human. No matter how strong or resilient someone may appear, they've all felt the weight of fear, doubt, sadness, or anger at some point in their lives. For a woman who spends time alone, these emotions often have no place to hide. In the quiet moments of solitude, negative feelings can emerge, unfiltered and raw, demanding attention. But it is in these moments that the greatest opportunities for growth lie. When a woman takes the time to understand her negative feelings instead of running from them, she begins a journey of self-awareness that few people ever undertake. Negative emotions are not the enemy, they are signals. They reveal what's out of alignment, what needs healing, and what lessons are waiting to be learned. For example, feelings of fear might point to a deep desire for growth that is being stifled by self-doubt. Anger might highlight boundaries that have been crossed or values that have been violated. Sadness may stem from an unmet need for connection or fulfillment. By facing these emotions head-on, she uncovers their roots and begins the process of transformation. It's tempting to suppress or ignore negative feelings, to push them aside in the hopes that they'll simply disappear. But buried emotions don't go away, they linger, often manifesting in other ways like stress, anxiety, or even physical illness. A woman who spends time alone knows this, and instead of suppressing her emotions, she creates space to explore them. She asks herself important questions. Why am I feeling this way? What triggered this emotion? What can I learn from this experience? These questions open the door to understanding, and with understanding comes the power to change. Acknowledging negative feelings isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It takes courage to sit with discomfort, to allow oneself to feel deeply and to resist the urge to distract or numb the pain. But through this process, a woman builds resilience. She learns that emotions, no matter how overwhelming, are temporary. They come and go like waves, and by learning to ride them, she becomes stronger. She doesn't let her feelings control her. Instead, she takes control of her relationship with them. One of the most powerful realizations that comes from understanding negative feelings is that they are not the truth, they are simply reactions. For example, feeling unworthy doesn't mean you're actually unworthy. Feeling hopeless doesn't mean there's no hope. These emotions might feel real in the moment, but they are often influenced by past experiences, false beliefs, or unhelpful narratives. A woman who spends time alone has the chance to challenge these narratives. She can ask herself, is this feeling based on fact, or is it a story I've been telling myself? What evidence do I have to support this thought? By questioning the validity of her negative feelings, she takes away their power and reclaims her own. Understanding negative feelings also allows a woman to develop empathy, not just for herself, but for others. When she learns to recognize her own pain and struggles, she becomes more attuned to the struggles of those around her. This empathy becomes a source of connection and compassion, enabling her to build deeper and more meaningful relationships. She doesn't judge others for their emotions because she has learned not to judge herself. Instead, she offers support and understanding, becoming a source of strength for those who need it. Most importantly, understanding negative feelings teaches a woman that they are part of the human experience, not something to be feared or avoided. They are indicators of growth, reminders that she is alive and capable of change. When she embraces her negative emotions as part of her journey, she stops seeing them as obstacles and starts seeing them as opportunities. She uses them to fuel her growth, to deepen her self-awareness, and to move closer to the life she wants to create. In solitude, there is no escaping the inner dialogue, but this is not a curse. It's a gift. Negative feelings, when faced with courage and curiosity, become a teacher. They guide a woman to the parts of herself that need attention, care, and healing. They show her where she's been and where she has the potential to go. And as she learns to understand and embrace these feelings, she transforms them from something that holds her back into something that propels her forward. Through this process, she discovers that the presence of negative feelings is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of growth. Every tear, every doubt, every moment of frustration is part of the journey toward becoming stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled. And when a woman understands this, she becomes unstoppable. She no longer fears her emotions because she knows they don't define her, they empower her. Overcoming negative feelings is not about suppressing or avoiding them. It's about developing the tools to navigate through them with grace and resilience. Negative emotions are inevitable. They come to everyone at different points in life. But what sets a strong woman apart is her ability to confront these feelings, process them, and use them as stepping stones toward personal growth. With the right tools, negative emotions lose their grip and become opportunities for transformation. The first tool is self-awareness. You cannot change what you don't acknowledge. When negative feelings arise, the key is to pause and observe them without judgment. Instead of saying, "I shouldn't feel this way," say, "I feel this way, and that's okay." Naming the emotion, whether it's sadness, anger, fear, or frustration, immediately reduces. This act of self-awareness creates space between you and the emotion, allowing you to see it for what it is, a temporary experience, not a permanent state. Journaling is another powerful tool. When thoughts and emotions feel overwhelming, writing them down can bring clarity. Journaling helps you untangle the knot of your emotions and make sense of what you're feeling. It's like having a conversation with yourself, but on paper. You can explore the triggers behind your feelings, identify patterns, and even uncover solutions. Sometimes seeing your thoughts written out can shift your perspective and remind you that the situation may not be as daunting as it seems. Affirmations are also incredibly effective. Negative feelings often stem from negative self-talk, the inner critic that tells you you're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. Affirmations challenge that narrative. They remind you of your worth and potential. Statements like, "I am strong," "I am capable," or "I am worthy of love and success" may feel awkward at first, but over time, they rewire your brain to focus on the positive. Repeating affirmations daily, especially during challenging moments, can help drown out the noise of negativity. Gratitude is another tool that works wonders. Negative feelings often arise when we focus on what's missing or what's wrong in our lives. Gratitude shifts the focus to what's already good. It's not about ignoring problems, but about balancing the scales. Take a moment to list 3 things you're grateful for each day, no matter how small they seem. It could be as simple as a kind word from a friend, the warmth of sunlight, or the fact that you have the strength to face another day. Gratitude trains your mind to look for the good, even in difficult times, and that perspective can be transformative. Mindfulness and meditation are tools that bring you back to the present moment. Negative feelings often thrive in the past or future, in regrets about what happened or fears about what might happen. Mindfulness anchors you in the here and now. By focusing on your breath, your body, or your surroundings, you can calm the storm of emotions and gain clarity. Meditation, even for just a few minutes a day, helps you develop a sense of inner peace and resilience. It teaches you to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them, which is a powerful skill for overcoming negativity. Physical movement is another underestimated but highly effective tool. Emotions are energy, and when they're bottled up, they can weigh you down. Exercise releases endorphins, the body's natural mood elevators, and helps you process emotions physically. Whether it's a brisk walk, yoga, dancing, or hitting the gym, moving your body can shift your mental state and give you a sense of control over your emotions. Setting boundaries is also critical in overcoming negative feelings. Sometimes negativity comes not from within, but from external sources. People, situations, or environments that drain your energy. Learning to say no, distancing yourself from toxic relationships, and prioritizing your well-being are acts of self-respect. Boundaries are not about shutting others out. They're about creating space for your own growth and healing. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of connection. While solitude is important for self-reflection, there's also strength in seeking support when needed. Talking to a trusted friend, mentor, or therapist can help you process emotions in ways you might not be able to on your own. Sometimes simply voicing your feelings can lighten the burden. The key to using these tools effectively is consistency. Overcoming negative feelings isn't about a one-time fix. It's about building habits that strengthen your emotional resilience over time. Each tool serves a purpose, and together they form a toolkit that empowers you to face challenges, rise above negativity, and create a life filled with purpose and joy. By you using these tools, a woman transforms her relationship with her emotions. She doesn't let negativity define her or dictate her actions. Instead, she uses it as a stepping stone to become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Negative feelings may arise, but with the right tools, she knows she can face them, overcome them, and keep moving. Pain is one of the most challenging emotions to experience, yet it holds immense transformative potential. For a woman who has spent time alone, pain often becomes an uninvited guest during moments of stillness. Without the distractions of a busy world, pain has a way of rising to the surface, demanding attention. But here's the truth. Pain, when approached with courage and intention, can be the very thing that fuels personal power and growth. It's not about denying the pain or pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about learning how to alchemize that pain into something meaningful and empowering. Pain is a universal experience. It might stem from loss, failure, heartbreak, rejection, or even the weight of unfulfilled dreams. Whatever its source, pain often feels overwhelming, like an immovable obstacle. But within every moment of pain lies an opportunity, a chance to reflect, rebuild, and rise stronger. Pain is not a dead end, it is a doorway. It challenges you to examine the parts of yourself that need healing, to face truths you may have been avoiding, and to let go of what no longer serves you. It strips away the superficial and brings you face to face with your raw, authentic self. The first step in turning pain into power is acceptance. Many people try to avoid pain, to numb it with distractions, or deny it altogether, but avoidance only prolongs suffering. When you acknowledge your pain and allow yourself to feel it fully, you take the first step toward reclaiming your power. This doesn't mean wallowing in despair. It means creating space for your emotions to exist without judgment. It's saying to yourself, yes, this hurts, but I am strong enough to face it. In that moment of acceptance, the pain begins to lose its grip and you regain control. Once you've accepted the pain, the next step is reflection. Pain is a powerful teacher, but it requires you to ask the right questions. What is this pain trying to teach me? What can I learn from this experience? How can I grow from this? Often, pain highlights areas in your life that need attention or change. It might reveal patterns, beliefs, or relationships that are no longer serving you. It pushes you to confront the parts of your life that are out of alignment with your values or desires. Through reflection, you begin to understand that pain is not here to break you. It's here to guide you. Transformation happens when you decide to act on the lessons pain has taught you. This is where the shift from pain to power occurs. Perhaps the pain of failure motivates you to try again with greater determination. Maybe the pain of heartbreak inspires you to build a deeper relationship with yourself. Or perhaps the pain of loss reminds you of the preciousness of life and pushes you to live more fully. Now, pain, when channeled correctly, becomes a source of strength, resilience, and purpose. It fuels your growth, reminding you of your capacity to overcome. One of the most profound ways to turn pain into power is to use it to help others. When you take your own experiences of pain and transform them into lessons or stories that inspire and uplift others, you create a ripple effect of healing and empowerment. Sharing your journey, whether through words, actions, or simply leading by example, gives your pain a purpose. It turns something that once felt heavy and isolating into a force for connection and impact. Another aspect of turning pain into power is the realization that pain is temporary. In the midst of it, it can feel endless, like it will never subside, but every emotion, including pain, is fleeting. It ebbs and flows like a tide, and eventually it passes. Understanding this impermanence gives you the strength to endure, knowing that brighter days are ahead. And as you move through the pain, you discover a deeper level of resilience within yourself, a resilience you didn't know you had. Pain also sharpens your perspective. It reminds you of your capacity to endure, to adapt, and to keep moving forward. It strips away illusions and helps you see what truly matters. In this clarity, you find power. The power to focus on your priorities, the power to let go of what doesn't serve you, and the power to rebuild in a way that aligns with your highest self. Ultimately, turning pain into power is about choosing to see yourself not as the victim of circumstances, but as the hero of your own story. It's about understanding that while you may not have control over what happens to you, you always have control over how you respond. Pain can break you down, or it can build you up. It all depends on the mindset you choose. Through acceptance, reflection, action, and purpose, pain becomes a catalyst for transformation. It pushes you out of your comfort zone, tests your limits, and reveals your strength. It shows you who you are at your core and what you're truly capable of. And when you emerge on the other side, you don't just survive, you thrive. You become a living testament to the power of resilience and the beauty of turning pain into purpose. Growth is not something that happens by chance. It is a choice, a deliberate commitment to becoming better, stronger, and more fulfilled. In life, there will always be moments that test you, moments that push you to your limits and force you to confront who you truly are. These moments may be uncomfortable, but they are the crossroads where growth begins. The call to action for growth is an invitation to stop waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances and instead take bold, intentional steps forward. It's about choosing progress over perfection, action over hesitation, and courage over fear. The journey of growth starts with a decision. It's the decision to say, I am ready to evolve, to embrace the unknown, and to take ownership of my life. Growth doesn't come from sitting on the sidelines or hoping that things will get better on their own. It comes from stepping into the arena, even when you feel uncertain or afraid. This is your life, and you owe it to yourself to live it fully. That means showing up for yourself, even when it's hard, and committing to the process of becoming the best version of you. One of the most powerful steps you can take toward growth is to set clear intentions. Growth doesn't just happen. You have to know where you're going and why. Take a moment to envision the life you want to create. What does it look like? How does it feel? What kind of person do you need to become to make that vision a reality? Write it down. Speak it out loud. Declare it with conviction. When you set a clear intention, you create a roadmap for your growth. And every step you take brings you closer to that vision. But setting intentions is only the beginning. Growth requires action, consistent, courageous action. It's not enough to dream or to wish for change. You have to do the work. That might mean taking risks, stepping out of your comfort zone, or confronting the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. It might mean saying no to what no longer serves you and saying yes to opportunities that scare you. Growth doesn't happen in the safety of routine. It happens when you challenge yourself to do something different, something bold, something that stretches you. Along the way, you will face obstacles. That's inevitable. But obstacles are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. Each challenge you encounter is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to grow stronger. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, see them as feedback. What didn't work? What can you do differently next time? Every mistake, every misstep, every disappointment is a lesson in this. The key is to keep going, to keep moving forward, even when the path feels difficult. Growth is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. A vital part of growth is learning to trust yourself. Trust that you have the strength to overcome challenges. Trust that you have the wisdom to make the right decisions. Trust that even if you stumble, you will find your way. Self-trust is the foundation of growth because it allows you to take risks, embrace uncertainty, and believe in your ability to navigate whatever comes your way. When you trust yourself, you stop looking for validation or permission from others. You realize that you already have everything you need within you to succeed. Another essential component of growth is surrounding yourself with the right people. Growth is hard enough without the weight of negativity or doubt from others. Seek out those who inspire you, who challenge you, and who support your journey. These are the people who will hold you accountable, who will celebrate your wins, and who will remind you of your potential when you start to doubt it. Your environment matters, and the people you surround yourself with play a significant role in your ability to grow. Most importantly, remember that growth is a lifelong journey. There is no finish line, no point at which you've arrived. There will always be more to learn, more to discover, and more ways to evolve. Embrace the process and find joy in the journey. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and give yourself grace when things don't go as planned. Growth is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about becoming just a little bit better today than you were yesterday. So the call to action for growth is this. Start now. Start where you are with what you have. Take that first step, no matter how small, and then take another and another. Keep moving forward. Keep learning and keep striving for the life you know you deserve. The path may not always be easy, but it will be worth it. And along the way, you will discover a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you ever imagined. You have the power to grow. All it takes is the courage to begin.